Live from beautiful downtown Redwood Shores, California, it's the EA Radio Show with Tony Bruno. Hello, sports fans. I'm Tony Bruno, your charming host. We've got all kinds of things to discuss on today's special training camp edition. Don't you even think about moving from the spot you're in right now, because we have news and fun coming up. Stay tuned. Now on the phone, we have head coach Bill Cowher. Let's jump right into the questions. Well, Coach, camp is here, and a lot of guys out there trying to open some eyes. How would you describe the way you're running that training camp?
Hard, demanding, fair.
Short and sweet, huh? What's your main goal of training camp? What do you hope to accomplish here?
The main goal, I would think, would be to come out of it, first of all, with your team ready to play for the first game. And through the course of that, having the chance to evaluate your players so that you can pick the best 53, and then obviously getting through a training camp without having any major injuries to any players of significance.
Head coach Bill Cowher on the line with us today here on EA Sports Radio. Well, Coach, you know how our listeners love to know this kind of stuff, so what do you do in the off-season to relax?
Off-season, playing racquetball, playing golf, spending time with the family.
Coach, what is it that drew you into coaching? What's the thing you like about being a head coach?
Working with players, competing on Sundays, and the challenge that each season brings.
Bill Cowher, ladies and gentlemen, our always educated listeners might have learned a thing or two with my insightful line of questioning. Thanks again for giving us a call.
Thanks for having me, Tony. I appreciate it.
Just a great interview with Coach Cowher, if I do say so myself. You know, these early morning interviews always a little interesting, but he had some good things to say. And that'll do it. That wraps up another edition of this Tony Bruno Coach Call of the Week. We've got an update out of Baltimore. Steve McNair has decided that he'd rather hobnob with the folks in Hollywood and shoot a movie than report to training camp. This is an outrage. That's why we've got so many people out there who've lost interest in sports, because they think the players are out for number one. And in this case, I'd have to say that's true. No one is above going to training camp. Come on, what kind of message does that send to your teammates? Players who love this game and love their teammates would not do this sort of thing. Miss one day of training camp? Okay, that's fine. Miss a few days? Not so cool. But miss the entire camp for a movie? You gotta be kidding me. This guy would get his walking papers if I was the owner of that team. All right, it's time to see what our listeners think about this.
Tony. You were right on the money about this one. I don't agree with you often, but this I'm in 100% agreement. I don't see any problem with doing movies in your own time, but when everyone else is reporting to camp, working hard, getting in shape for the season, and you're in front of a camera, probably stinking up the set, might I add, that's just inexcusable. I had no idea how despicable an athlete could get until I read this story. It's a direct insult to the league and its fans, and this is one fan who's never going to forgive and forget. All right, Tony? Thanks.
Hey, thank you for sharing your thoughts, and keep listening. Okay, switching gears now. This show is a good forum to debate certain topics. We like to take callers every now and then to see what people are thinking about these days. Let's get right to it with caller number one. Hello, what do you have for us today?
Hey, Tony, how are things going? I appreciate you taking my call because I got something I really want to talk to you about. Now, you might recognize my voice from me calling in before. The thing I want to talk to you about today is the Patriot Dynasty. That's right, I said it. Dynasty. I know there are a lot of you guys finally believing in this thing, but I got to tell you, there's still plenty of guys out there who think that the Pats aren't for real. And you know what they say? They're a product of the system, they're overachievers, that kind of thing. But you ask me, the Pats are just as good as those great teams from the past, the Packers, the Steel Curtain, the triplets. I mean, America's team. I mean, I got America's team right here. We got the war on terrorism going on. These are the Patriots. And the Pats might not win big, but winning the big game as many times as they have, and I think you got to start putting them up there with some of the best teams that have ever been put together. What do you think, Tony? I know you agree with me. Come on, give it to me.
First of all, before I say anything, any team that wins 20 in a row, regardless of the day, regardless of the sport, has done something special. I'm not so sure, though, I'd put the Patriots up there yet with the mighty men of Lambeau or the fearsome defense of the Steel Curtain. I think most people would agree the conditions they have to work under is what sets the Patriots apart. I mean, they have to battle the salary cap year in and year out. You got to see firsthand what the cap has done to some of the once proud franchises in the NFL. The dynasties from the old days had the same players year to year, a lot of times from the day that they first strapped on the helmet until the day they called it a career. That's the kind of thing that's the exception now rather than the rule. I'm not sure how well any of the Super Bowl winning Patriots teams would match up on paper against some of those other teams that you mentioned, but I'll tell you one thing, I know this for sure. No team does a better job of understanding team chemistry and cap management than the front office of the New England Patriots. Another great topic of discussion. Hey, thanks for ringing in. Well, we've run out of time for this week. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Tony Bruno, reminding you that if it's in the game, it's in the game. We'll see you next time on EA Sports Radio.